basically a plot to punish Varric for reneging on his warlock contract. Um, with that in mind, because Dunsparrow gave you the information, you were attempting to ambush the um, druids of the Circle of Ruin and Thistle. You began the encounter with an attempt at a suggestion spell, and with Varric busting out a Samugi move, pulling the Steel Wind Strike, and then just trying to smash Serpa. So,
Steel Wind Smash.
so I think Serpa, where we left off, Serpa just took his initiative, and it's Cass and Reyna that are on the docket.
Shit. No, I can't
So-
have you go first. Okay.
It's fine. Okay. You know what I could do? I know what I could do. Here we go. Let's try something. Okay, so Cass, do you want to take an initiative here while I desperately try to figure out Reyna's character?
Yeah. Okay. Cass is going to walk a little bit left of the or he runs up to the left of the wild-shaped beast.
Okay.
And in a very soft and gentle, hands like arms spread wide open, a voice just like swims through the air into everyone's ears, and he's going to say approach to, I'm going to upcast it to 1, 2, 3, 4. There's just 4? I thought, oh, 5. I'm not hitting the tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 4th level spell. I'm going to use command and say approach, and everyone needs...
Everyone except for the tree?
Everyone except for the tree. It doesn't say that they have to be able to understand me if the tree or the whatever can't.
But is suggestion a concentration spell?
Let me check. Yes.
Okay. All right. Wisdom saves.
Where are
Wisdom
you?
17. Cass, he's a little south off camera. But he will be moving up north and to the west in between those 2 torches.
Wow. That is a hefty save. So far, I got a natural 20, a natural 19, and a natural 8. Or not a natural 18, but an 18.
Okay, yeah.
And a natural 18.
Okay.
Everybody saved.
Big swing and a miss. Okay.
Your
Yeah.
saves are wet.
Despite Sundara's amazing opening, they've got really good wisdom saves.
Yeah. Like 90% of my spells are wisdom saves.
Yeah, you are so lucky that that suggestion went off at disadvantage. Like, it's kind of incredible because they've got really, really good wisdom. Okay.
Okay, so he moves. I'm going to move north and up, north and to the west,
Okay.
in between the 2 torches. That failed, so a funky little bass line begins to play on the polylute, and I'm going to inspire Varric.
How's it go?
Fucking, I can't. Bass sounds. Something like that, you know? But like rhythmic.
Okay. I love it.
It's a D10. Bardic Inspiration rules changed a little bit, so you don't have to use it until you miss. And then, because of my type of bard, if you miss and you use it and you still miss, the inspiration doesn't go away. So basically use it every time you miss.
Got it.
Until you hit. And that's my turn.
Okay. And everybody, don't forget to tune into the music.
Yeah. I forgot.
I too forgot.
I don't know how to find the link, so... Oh, here we go. I will post it in the Discord. There you are. Okay. Alright. Reyna. Reyna is going to... From here, from the low ground, she is going to use her bonus action for the Mark of the Heretic. As part of that, she's going to get a free casting of the Compelled Duel spell. She's aiming at the elemental creature over here. It rolled a natural 7.
What does that mean?
Let's see. Wisdom. 14, not enough. Okay.
What does that mean?
It means that Reyna and this elemental are in a duel right now. So if anyone attacks this elemental, the spell is broken. Otherwise, Reyna is essentially locking it into a 1v1.
Oh, cool.
She is then going to use her action to use her spectral cannon. That is a 21. I'll get this to go away. 21. And then let's do damage. 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, that's way too slow. I will resolve this damage in a bit, but you just watch as Reyna holds her hand out, and there's this runic sigil that appears on the chest of this tree elemental, and then she just fires 3 shots from a spectral hand cannon.
A ghostly hand cannon.
Next is going to be... God, I cannot even read my... The hell is that supposed to be? Alright, well, I can't read that, so I don't know what it is. We'll see who I skip. We will go to the Night Hag.
Can you remind us of the initiative order?
Right now?
Sure.
Sure. Sandara, Varric, then Millennia, then Serpa, then Cass, then Reyna. Oh, and then I think that's the Clockwork.
Sentinel?
Spider. Is there... Oh, the Sentinel. That's what that is. Okay, Clockwork Sentinel. That's actually its initiative right now. And then the Night Hag, then the other Hag, then the Thorn Elemental, then Smoogie. So, Sandara, what is the Clockwork Sentinel doing right now?
It's going to attack whatever Varric is attacking.
The rock monster.
Okay. It is going to rush forward. and begin flanking with Varric. Would you like to roll the attacks, or would you like me to?
Please, can you do it?
Okay.
Sorry, I've got a phone and a tablet.
That's okay. What is... oh God, so many windows. The AC, bear with me, guys. I knew I was...
Or if it has a stat block, I can pull it up.
It does, but it's connected to Serpa's stat block, so I'll just pull it up on his. Okay, so that's a miss. Hit. Miss. With a natural 1, for which Serpa is going to retaliate. Actually, he won't. He'll keep his reaction for now. Alright.
Bitch.
So, the one that does hit... oh God, my d6s. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
That is 6 damage, reduced to 3. And
Have
then
you armor master?
he actually reduces it to 0.
Wow.
And then he's going to take armor Bagathis damage.
You cast that spell? Armor
did.
Bagathis?
He did.
Within range of me?
You already hit him for it.
Uh,
But the Clockwork Sentinel is going to take 25 cold damage.
Wowzers.
Track of that. All right, that is going to bring us to the Night Hag. All right. He is going to move over here, and she is going to cast a spell on Varric. Are there any responses? If not, Varric, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Can you hear me? Was I muted? I was gonna cast a spell.
Oh, you're counterspelling it?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, what level are you counterspelling it at?
Third.
Third? Okay. Where are you? I'm gonna have to make a ruling here. Yep. Okay, so with that... hang on.
And cinematic with it.
Well,
Yeah, I
no,
love it.
I'm trying to get line of sight here.
We should fight like this way more often.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a perception check
Oh, very nice.
for Millennia here.
Yeah, can she see me?
She doesn't need to see you.
Oh dear.
Millennia is going to use the shared spell casting of her coven to cast one of the Night Hag's counter spells on your counter spell.
Wow, that's cool.
So with that, the original polymorph spell will resolve, and Varric, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
$17.
Pretty good, Bert.
Does it fail?
The spell fails.
Bard. Oh, shit. Good job.
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay. So Varric is not turned into a goat. All right. That is a bummer for me.
2 spells. Wasted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of spells.
All right. With that, the night hag is going to flank around this way and get cover behind this tree.
Ah,
All right. That is going to bring us to our werehag.
too many hags, you ask me.
I know.
It's like Tuesday night at the Dixie dump truck. It's a made up strip club, but it's a Tuesday night. So, a lot of hags.
Wow. Okay. She is going to rush forward and begin to cast a spell.
What's it
You
called?
want. You don't know yet until it resolves. Is anyone going to attempt anything before this goes off?
Alas, I am out of reaction.
You know, I don't touch that dirty spell.
He hates
Okay.
her.
She casts a wall of thorns,
Oh,
and she is going to block Varric off and the Clockwork Sentinel from the rest of the group.
Okay.
cool. I'm not in the wall of thorns though, right?
You're inside of it.
Ah. I mean, like I'm in the thorns, or I'm on
You
the
will be, yes.
inside of the fence.
Yeah, it's engulfing you.
Cool.
Oh god.
Excuse
Well, she cut her own person off.
how fucking big is this wall?
60 feet long, 10 feet high, 5 feet thick.
Good lord.
Is it opaque?
It will block off movement, or it will block off line of sight. Yes,
Boo.
it specifically says that in the spell.
That's a
Okay.
problem.
That spell has gone off. That is the werehag's action. And then she is going to move closer to Varric. Varric, you see, as you see the form of Millennia, the witch that you made this pact with, you watch as her form begins to grow such that she's larger than you. She's got antlers kind of coming out of her head, and you watch as what was before just like a beautiful feminine face kind of turn elderly and warped and elongated. And you just see these like sickly strands of like red and white hair over a mostly bald scalp coming at you as she is just salivating. Salivating.
She
That's
gonna
going to bring us to our werehag, or sorry, our thorn elemental.
He's also trapped.
You would be surprised. You watch as he actually seamlessly moves through trees and thorns. He is actually going to park himself within the wall itself, so he's part of the wall.
Cool.
And he is going to hold. Actually, you know what? He can't. He is going to continue to move. Samugi, do you want to hit him as he walks by you, just single-mindedly focused on Reyna?
Yes.
Okay.
Is my reaction, am I allowed, is it like different than an attack in that I can't use both my attacks?
That's correct. You only get one.
Okay. That is a 23.
Wowzers.
That will hit.
Coming out with the big boy numbers.
And what's my Titan Butcher?
Cool.
Oh, forgot about those.
Yeah.
That's an extra 3d4.
3d4.
Per Butcher Charm?
I think I can only use one charm per attack.
Oh.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 13.
13 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. With that, it takes the 13 damage. The compelled duel spell is broken.
What, hold on, was Jessica even here for that explanation? Or was that before?
Wait, I just
Um,
saw you when
doesn't-
Jasmine got here.
I thought she was here for it, but I will say, so what you saw was Reyna casted a spell. I mean, the thing, to be fair, Samugi wouldn't know what that was. So, what I described was the Thorn Elemental was completely oblivious to anyone except for Reyna, and is just single-mindedly going towards her. So I'll tell you what, Samugi, do you want to allow this thing to pass and go for Reyna, or are you going to try to double team it with Reyna?
I have a feeling he's now going to like come after me, but I think I would have just attacked him anyways.
That sounds like what Samugi's instincts would have been, especially not having had many battles with Reyna.
Also, I would like to stunning strike him. Probably gonna fail,
Oh,
but we must try.
yeah, I guess that's a thing.
That is the thing. Constitution.
It is a thing.
Oh, I've got such good constitution.
It's a tree.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
that's a 21.
It's it.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
I would have rolled badly.
So, first things first.
First things first.
I'm the realist.
It is going to turn towards you, and it is going to cast a spell.
Me?
Trees casting spells?
Yep.
What can't cast a spell out here?
It casts a wall of thorns.
Why are you doing this to us?
Now I'm trying to think this is these guys are one-trick ponies. All I can do is turn into rocks and trees and make thorns happen.
So I'm in an arena of thorns with this thorn elemental. Is that what it was?
It
And
is
no one
then
else.
going
Just
to move right into your space, and you are trapped between a thorn elemental and a wall of thorns.
Pokey. You're in the pokey. But
I'm feeling a little better about this fight, you guys. Speaking of which, I need both Varric and Samugi to make dexterity saving throws.
oh, I am so dexterous. What's this?
7.
Success.
Awesome.
23.
Failure.
Wow.
What? I'm very confused right now.
Oh my god, I'm rolling so hot.
Yeah, you are.
Varric, you take 32 points of slashing damage. Samugi, you take 16 points of slashing damage.
He was being
Is this from the
facetious.
thorns?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
That is going to bring us to Samugi.
So the only opponent I can see is this guy. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, you knew where everyone else was, but you are trapped in this arena of thorns with it right now.
Is it considered difficult terrain, or is it just like
It's worse than difficult terrain.
Okay.
Because to move 1 foot through the wall, you have to spend 4 feet of movement.
How many feet?
Which means you'd have to spend 20 feet to get to like force your way through the wall, and you will take the same damage, or at least a saving throw against that damage. By trying
The
to force
same damage as in
the one you just took.
Okay. Okay.
So that 16 damage was from you like diving out of the wall of thorns in time.
Mm.
Now I need to check something. Am I mistaken? Oh, damn it. I'm going to be a kind DM, and I'm going to remind you of an ability you have called Evasion. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but Evasion means that if you make a dexterity saving throw and you succeed, you actually take 0. So you can remove that 16 damage you took. So basically, you can spend 20 feet of movement to try to, like, gnome slide your way through this wall of thorns. It will get an opportunity attack on you, unless you use another monk ability.
Which is...
I'm not going to tell you. And if
I know
you,
what that is.
If you if you succeed, then you will be able to, what do you call it? Get through the wall unharmed. If you fail, you will take half the damage that the spell does. And in theory, you can hit him first.
Yes. Yes. How much is he hurt at all?
You punched him, and he got hit by Varric's Steelwind Strike.
Okay.
Ooh. The tree?
I am going to take my first attack, and I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
That is a 25 to hit. 10. 13 plus 3 d4s.
Yes.
19 points of force damage. And then I'm going to, I'm going to do this anyways. I'm going to, I know.
Okay.
I'm going to do this out of order. I'm going to use my bonus action before my other attack. And I'm going to use Step of the Wind.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Before I do that, though, I'm going to Stunning Strike him one more time.
Doink. Pass. 25.
Okay. And then I'm going to use Step of the Wind and try to pass, and then move across into the other arena, in which there's how many people are in there? How many of my opponents are in there?
I'm going to let you know you're trying to now move through 2 of these walls of thorns.
Okay. How many opponents are in there? Last I saw.
The rest of them. So 1, 2, 3. So sorry, 1, 2. Actually, just 3, and then 1 is on the outside.
Okay. Am I able to still see the elemental once I pass through? Is he in my line of sight?
He's tall enough such that he is within your line of sight. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pass through um, both of the whatchamacallits.
Okay, hold on. We're level 12. Your base movement is 45 feet. You actually have enough movement to do this.
Yes. And then I have 5 more feet of movement after because I have to use 20 per wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 5 feet of it is going to be spent getting essentially to the wall, and then you can
Okay.
just through.
Gotcha.
Hold on, let me check something. If you would like, your jump distance is doubled with Step of the Wind. With an acrobatics check, I will allow you to try to parkour over the wall instead of go through it, because it is 10 feet high.
Acrobatics.
Dude, your middle name is acrobatics.
I'm going to call this a DC 17.
So just 1 acrobatics roll versus 2 dexterity throws?
Yes. If you fail the acrobatics check, you will automatically fail the dex save, and you will be stuck there.
In the wall?
In the wall. If you just try to pass through, it will be guaranteed that you make it through, but you may take damage.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the acrobatics. That is a 16 plus 7, 23.
Okay.
Whoa.
You watch this Smoogie, like a little spider monkey, spiral clambers up the thorn elemental, kicks off, and does a back roll, landing over here with 20 more feet of movement.
Okay, and am I within 30 feet of everyone in either of the thorn arenas?
You are. You're not going to be able to use your Steel Wind Strike because that is a whole action.
Is
It's
it?
not an attack action. So here's what we can do. I can revert the damage because you didn't know that. Do you want to do that so you can still do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing changes. You still punch the thing. It just takes no damage. You did that to kind of distract it to clamber up. You dive over, and as you've seen so many times before, you watch as Samugi's form just flickers out, and you just see like a billion copies of Samugi at the same time. I did not realize that's what you were doing. Go ahead and make 4 wisdom-based attacks. God, I hate that spell.
What is a
I've
wisdom
never
based
seen
attack?
anyone use it, and then everyone uses it now.
Wait, what is a wisdom based attack?
Just make a melee attack for
Okay.
4 times for each dude. And then the question is this a concentration spell? Yes, it is.
Wait,
I mean-
29, 13, 24, 19.
9, 13, 24, 19. The 19 misses the thorn elemental. The 24 hits the... Oops. That's going to be against Serpa. The 24 does hit Serpa. The 13 misses Millennia. And the 20 whatever it was does hit the Druid of the Old Ways.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll 60,
Roll 60
10.
one time. Yeah.
Okay. And then the
you
2
hit
people
2.
that I hit, what are my Titan Butcher?
1d4.
1d4.
Serpa, you get 2 against Serpa.
2d4 and then 1d4.
Yes.
Okay. 60, 10.
Whoa.
That is
I
okay.
was printing the size difference between him and Serpa.
Oh.
2d. Okay, so that's 31, and then let me roll my d4s. 31 plus. Okay, so that's 35 for Serpa. And then for the other person, it's a 35.
You break Serpa's ice armor, and you take 25 points of cold damage.
But wait, that is going to be
Forward.
reduced because of one thing. Deflect energy.
Oh my god,
When
are you
you-
gonna deflect energy on me?
Yes. Okay. You can use your reaction to deflect it. Do I have a reaction? I must. Okay. We're just gonna say I have a reaction. Okay, 1d10 plus 5. 7 plus 5, 12. Okay, so what was the number?
25.
25 minus 12. Is that right?
Yes, so you take 13.
13. Okay. And then I'm also going to stunning strike both people that I hit.
Somebody take her key points.
I'm spending them pretty liberally here, so I can't keep this up forever.
Okay, let's do Serpa first. Surely the Constitution. It's not. Oh man. Big money, big money. Hell yeah. Natural 19. Serpa succeeds. True to the old ways. Not as good. Let's see what that gets me. Oh, 16?
No,
Fuck. Okay.
you are stunned.
He is stunned.
Okay, so
And, sorry, fuck. Damage was
Oh,
do you remember? For both?
for stunning strike, it was 35 for both.
You did more to Serpa. Oh, Serpa was 35, and then it was
They were
less...
both 35.
Oh, you rolled them separately?
Yeah. Did
Oh.
I not have?
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
And then, last thing, I'm going to use my fade away. I'm going to go invisible.
Okay. You did a lot in one turn. So you watch as Smoogie clambers up this thing, fires off, goes into, full iframes mode, and then as a reaction to Serpa's armor just exploding in ice, you watch as he puts his arms up and reduces most of the damage. And after there's that explosion, you're like, oh my god, is Smoogie dead? Because he's gone. There is no trace of Smoogie. It was almost just like a Batman dust, but it was just like this ice blast that just vaporized Smoothie. So he's gone.
Oh no.
Top of the round, Sandara. You barely saw that through the thorns. You are looking at a thorn elemental that is angrily looking down at you, as you and Reyna are just on the outside of this thing.
Alright, here we go. Let's see if I can do cool stuff too.
Yeah.
I am going to start by misty stepping to the top of the tree to the left of me.
Give me an acrobatics check.
You could do it.
DC is going to be 14, we'll say.
Well,
12?
Yeah.
Give me now a dexterity saving throw.
so 19.
Okay, you're at the top of the tree, you are hanging on, and you will be considered prone while you're here. You can use
Cool.
movement to get up, but it will be another acrobatics check to do this, to get up from prone.
Totally fine. I'll stay prone, and I will cast a twinned dispel magic. Oh, are we still using old twinned rules? Or are we doing new twinned rules?
I don't even know what the new twinned rules are.
Well, they suck. You can only
I figured.
upcast.
I don't care. Yes, we're using the old ones.
I would like to do a twinned dispel magic, one on the on Serpa, whatever his form is called, and then one on the Wall of Thorns.
Which wall?
The one around Serpa.
Okay. For the dispelling effect against Serpa. The Where the hell is my druid? Is he not in here? I skipped him, so I'll make him go last, and we'll blame it on the stun, even though we retooled how stun works. Oh, but then he wouldn't even be able to respond to it anyways. And Varric doesn't have a reaction back yet. Alright. Fuck it. Nightmare Hag here is going to use a shared 3rd level spell slot to counterspell the dispel against Serpa.
Can I counterspell her counterspell while casting a spell? That's my
You
reaction.
cannot cast 2-leveled spells in the same.
Oh yeah.
In fact, as much as I hate to say it, I think this would actually counter both of them.
Can I retroactively subtle spell it and waste a sorcery point to do this?
You wouldn't be able to twin spell it.
I can because I've got innate sorcery active, which lets me do 2 meta magics on a spell.
Picking and choosing.
It would just be a lot of switching points.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll, just because I'm feeling spicy, I'll just roll a straight up luck dice to make the decision on this.
Okay.
Because my counter argument is you've seen them counterspell and you've heard me use the term shared spell casting. So in theory, you know that any of them can do this. If I roll above an 11, I will allow you to retroactively do this. Okay. This is your last mercy, because I personally know how bad it feels to have a twin spell 3rd level spell.
Well, so far I haven't gotten off any good spells. I keep getting countered.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to level 12, okay? I'm not gonna let you guys do what you want to do all the time. Okay, so those spells go off. Roll a d20, or make a spellcasting ability check, unskilled, against Serpa.
Unskilled as a no spell casting modifier.
Just roll your ability modifier on this.
Oh, okay, I see. That's a 7.
7 total?
Yep. Oh,
Do you have inspiration?
level 12. Oh, I do. I like to use it. $16.
Okay. The DC was 14 for his.
Get wrecked.
Okay, Varric.
Fucker.
Okay.
Sounds good.
He is out of his wild shape.
Is he
Lighter?
sad?
He
We're a whole little sad.
does not look afraid. The Wall of Thorns, that's
question.
another. That's another one.
Yep, yep. That one is a 24.
Yeah, that'll clear it. Okay. Man, this is getting a lot of interaction. You're
Isn't that what
interacting.
you
with
want?
You're interacting with my things. Okay.
DM, I'd like to start a forest fire.
I think it's too wet.
Okay. Okay, so now are you doing anything else?
Oh no, I'm just gonna sit up on this tree and get wrecked.
Yep.
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
That was kind of a Hail Mary type deal.
Well, I'm about to tail somebody's Mary.
That brings us to Varric. What are we doing?
Varric stares meanly at Rock Boy. Don't remember what his name is, don't care. And I'm going to use my channel divinity to vow of enmity, giving me advantage until he's dead. Or 10 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
And then I'm going to smash.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'll step right in the middle of them if I have to. I don't
Yep,
give a
that's
fuck.
fine.
I do have a D4 with this because of Roboboy.
Roboboy is not any more physically flanking because his size decreased.
Okay, that's fine. We still got advantage, boys. We're doing heavy. What? We're doing the -5 +10, whatever that's called. That is 18. Oh, we have advantage. I forgot about that. That is not 18.
18 is our armor class.
So that hits, right?
Hold on.
You no longer have armor of Agathis.
Yep. He's gonna shield.
I'm gonna add that D10 inspiration.
Hold on.
Won't that overcome shield?
I don't. You cannot add an inspiration on top of an attack that has already been declared. You would have had to say it up front.
He
Nope.
said I could use it if I've missed.
No, sir. New Bardic Inspiration rules. I'm trying to go everything by new rules, and they made Bardic Inspiration a lot more useful.
So it's if you miss, you can retroactively do it.
You don't declare Bardic Inspiration until after you miss.
Okay. New rules. I just got rules lawyered. Or one D&D expert over here. Okay, sure. Go ahead and add it.
That's a 9, so
Yeah.
27.
That'll overcome the shield.
Okay, that's 1. You want me to do the next attack while we're here?
I mean, might as well, right?
Well, you know what? We're gonna throw on a superiority die to trip. We're gonna do the attack right now. Go ahead and do a strength check. 8,
Strength, not as good as I want.
15 plus 10, 25. So it's 25
this is like
damage.
good boy.
And now he's prone. So that's 25 damage for him.
Okay.
Attack number 2. That's a 21. That's a natural 20. So that's 4 plus 5. And then we're gonna add a smite onto this. 2d8. 7 and 6 is 13, and 7 is 20. Plus Stone Strike, which is another d6, so we're at 23. So 23 doubled is 46 plus 10, 56 points of damage. Unless that 10 also gets doubled on the natty.
Okay. Um. Okay. Do you want to do this, or do you want me to?
I'd love to do this. So, Varric sees Smoogie get hit with the armor of Agathis energy and disappear, and he growls in anger, and he trips. I can't remember his name anymore. And then
Serpa.
Serpa, and then he pulls the old Duke Killer, where he slams the hammer into his chest and crushes his rib cage. This is for Samugi! And then a shout of anger. Ah!
Okay. As there is a sickening crack, and you just hear this like shallow wheezing as Serpa lies here, bleeding out. You hear him at this point. That look of determination and murderous intent has faded, and he just has a look of peace in his eyes. And he looks up into the sky and just says, "Welcome me into your arms, harbinger of the inevitable doom," and closes his eyes and rests his head against the snow. All right.
That's all I can do.
Not true.
Oh, I killed him. I'm gonna smack bitch next to me.
Okay.
Who's next to you?
The one that turned me into fucking
Oh, the
plant.
main lady, Melania.
Yeah.
Okay.
26.
Is this Great Weapon Master?
Nope.
Uh,
It's a regular old smackaroonie. I mean, Great Weapon Master would make it a 21, but this is 26. We're going for it.
She cannot do anything about that. That hits.
4, 4, 8. 13.
Okay.
And Gareth, or not Gareth.
Old habits.
Sorry. Varric pants angrily, staring at this wench.
Okay. That is going to bring us to her go. Oh wait, no. Okay. That is going to bring us to Serpa, who's dead. Okay. More specifically, he's dying. currently still breathing, but actively dying.
Oh,
That is going to bring us to Cass and Reyna.
Is Melania not going?
No, I mixed her up in order. She's got a ways.
That was doing something suspicious.
Okay.
it took a lot of energy, guys.
Gosh. Okay. Can you zoom in on? Is there anybody directly around me?
There's this nightmare hag
Oh.
that's hiding around this tree.
Okay. I'm gonna say I didn't see her.
Okay.
Fuck it. Cass is going to whisper a silent prayer to the traveler, and cast greater invisibility, spending some sorcery points to. Son of a bitch. Spending some sorcery points to quicken spell it.
Okay.
Okay.
No. Yep, got it.
And then I'm going to. Where's. Tall Chick is the Green Witch.
Yes.
I'm going to fire at her head.
Okay. You have advantage.
Thank God, because that was a natural one. Okay. 27 to hit. Uh, 16 points of piercing damage, 3 points, or wait. No. 16 points of piercing and 6 points of force damage. And then I'll use my movement to take big bounding leaps towards the pillar thing directly in front of me, and then try to jump on top of it, leaving as little footprints as possible.
Give me a stealth check.
Is it the evening? Are we in dim light? We're in
They
the
were gonna
ethereal
attack us
plane,
tonight.
so that's actually kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
What gives you advantage on that?
The nocturnal feat, I believe. Let me double check.
Anyway, I'm gonna meet you halfway. Take a D4 with this because this is more of a sound-based thing.
That's fine.
Because you're already invisible, so like you already have advantage. So just take advantage.
15. Or 14 without the 1.
Okay, that was at advantage.
That was at advantage.
Okay. All right.
They got witch eyes, though.
Probably. I'm feeling not particularly useful.
Wizard.
Reyna is going to Hexblade's Curse the Thorn Elemental. Take 3 shots. Doink. Doink. Miss. Miss. Doink. Hit.
I have Hexblade's Curse, but I don't want to use a spell slot because then I might miss out on a.
It's not a spell slot. It's an ability. That brings us to
Son of a bitch.
Clockwork Sentinel. Sindara, what do you command the Clockwork Sentinel to do?
I've left it at like a base command of hit whatever Varric is hitting.
I like that idea.
I figured, yeah, it'd be,
Just using it as basically a flanking bot.
yeah.
Doink, 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 doink. That's 3 misses, 1 hit. Doink.
Hey, at least
4
it's consistent.
slashing damage. Oh, you know what? It's flanking. Will that make a difference? Nope. Okay. 4 points of slashing damage against Millennia as she
Get
turns
chromed.
at it. That is going to bring us to other coven member here.
Ooh, sneaky sneak.
I got to make some moves, don't I? God damn it in the game. Okay, come on.
I'll have to say, I was significantly more afraid when he was a rock monster and I was trapped in a thorn wall. Feeling slightly better.
Okay, what can I do?
Yeah, that seemed pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty, you know.
Thanks for the save there.
What did it
Man. Choices. Okay. You watch as. No, it's not gonna work. God, this is dumb, but it's what I'm doing.
Love it.
That's kind of like the only thing we ever do, so
Yeah.
join us.
Come play with us.
Does she pass my opportunity attack range?
Yes.
I will cast command on her, and there's just a whisper that comes out in her direction to grovel.
Okay.
Wowzers.
Bird.
So that is a 18.
Son of a bitch.
And
Alright, no more wisdom saves against them. It's just not worth it.
Why is Mother Earthers? Oh my god.
You as that whispers, you watch she stops and like shudders for a second and just turns, and she's got this otherworldly smile as she looks directly at you.
Cool.
She's a witch. We should get the townspeople out here.
Horrible thing can I do to you?
Pitchforks, stakes.
Horrible.
Yeah, we really need some pagans right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's burn them at the stake.
God, this is risky.
Did anyone bring a crucifix? Or a Bible?
No, I left it.
Do those work again? I think that just kills people normally. It's like vampires are special.
Whatever. Does that work against vampires in D&D? Crucifix?
Fuck it, I'm doing it.
Christ
Fuck
doesn't
you.
exist in D&D,
This makes sense.
so I don't think crucifixes exist.
Cass, I need you.
Jesus exists in this world, canonically.
Really?
He's a fisherman.
Nice.
I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Restore balance. Restore balance.
You can't
Balance
see me
restored.
if that makes a difference.
Oh, damn you. Good luck with your disadvantage.
I might. Yeah, I don't even know if this could be restored.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a ruling and say that even if you could see him, you could not restore balance in this case.
That's
Because he's standing on the pillar.
That's a weird edge case.
I know, no, this means something weird and juicy is happening.
Natural one.
What are you eating?
I'm eating a salad from Chick-fil-A.
Is it good?
Yummy.
It's okay.
Okay.
Do I die?
There's room for improvement, but there's room for it to be way worse.
Do I die, Alex?
Wait, are you in the States?
I don't think so.
Where are you?
I was about to say they have Chick-fil-A in Germany.
Also, isn't it? Oh, it's Saturday, huh?
Mhm.
I was gonna say hey, it's Saturday, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Open
Okay, guys, I
Sunday?
think Cass is dying. Let's focus up. Talk about Chick-fil-A in Ohio in a second.
3, 4, 5, 6.
What is-
Okay, some dice.
Oh no.
Yeah, I went shopping at Target. Oh my gosh.
This
I haven't been at
is
Target in so long.
a
It's crazy.
con save. What damaging con save? Spell.
You take 26 points of radiant damage,
Okay.
Great.
and you revert to your changeling form.
Did you finally moonbeam me?
You got moonbeamed.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes. All right.
Why are you
Because
You
it's
watch-
so awesome.
You watch as she looks, she just begins cackling, raises her hands up in the air, and within the ethereal plane, you do not see a moon, and all of a sudden, one flits into existence,
Whoa.
and there's this like beautiful, like shimmer above Cass, and then all of a sudden, there's this like radiant silver light, and you watch as his clothes and flesh and skin just burn away. And you just see his changeling form completely revealed where he was previously invisible. I do need you to make a...
I failed.
You failed the con save?
Yeah.
Okay. And there is a bright, shining light that is raining down on Cass as he is actively being moonbeamed, and she points at him just like that, screeching for the other druid to go to town on him as he has been revealed. That is going to bring us to... Or where? Here. Okay. Choices. Also, where's... God, my Thorn Elemental is so slow. Big spell. Okay, I'm running low, but gotta make moves.
Believe you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm stuck. Yeah, no options. She doesn't know where... Actually, she would know where Samugi is. However, that doesn't matter. Yeah, she's gonna do it. You watch as she looks at you, Varric.
Mm-hmm.
You have already you have not used a reaction.
I'm not.
She's gonna burn a sorcery point or 2 sorcery points for this. She's gonna reach out her hands and attempt to shocking grasp you.
She didn't touch me?
Yep.
I'm gonna Is this a save I have to make?
It's an attack. Are you gonna try to Mage Slayer her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh. But do I have to save for it?
It's an attack roll.
Okay. Do I Mage Slay first?
Yes.
19?
She'll take it.
Cool. 6, 5, 11, 5, 16.
16 to hit?
No, I said 19. And
Oh,
you
that's
said
right.
she's
That's
gonna
right.
take
Sorry. 16 to hit. Yeah. Got it.
damage. And she's moved 5 feet backwards.
It's getting dicey, getting dicey. Okay. 5 feet back, and then 5 feet back, and then there's another 5, 10, 15. She's gonna stand right here.
Cool.
Clockwork Sentinel. Oh, that's gonna hit. It's another 5. He's looking very, very hurt. She's gonna look at all of. She's gonna look at you, Varric, and you watch as she is going to hold up her hands, and you watch as this like green butterfly like flits around, and she catches it, and then and then this swarm of insects just begins like swarming just in this little orb that she's holding, and she looks at you just like bleeding from the mouth where you've hit her, and she just says, "Return to dust." She's gonna cast Circle of Death.
I don't like that. Also, I don't know what it means.
It means I need everyone except for actually this is going to hit everyone except for
Where is Samugi?
she's gonna move over here. She can see Samugi. She cannot hit Samugi without causing a lot of collateral damage.
Aha.
She's gonna hit
How much-
everyone except for the Clockwork Sentinel.
How much movement is that?
So each one of these squares is 5. So
Yeah,
5, 10, 15, 20,
Okay.
25.
Sorry, I was just making sure.
In fact, she'll bring it to an even 30. Yeah. I need everyone except for Clockwork Sentinel and Samugi to make a Constitution saving throw.
You know what? No. Actually good at those.
I mean, just because this will matter.
22.
21.
Circle of Death is huge.
I know. Really big. Uh-huh.
How do I? Hang on. Sorry. I need to. Because I gotta try to do this without killing myself, so this will actually matter.
You can kill yourself if you want.
Yeah, we don't care.
How do I move this?
What level spell is this?
This is a 6th level spell.
By the way, I'm out of reactions if anyone's wondering why I'm being useless stuck in a tree.
That's okay. We still love you.
Right. Means so
Okay,
much to
yeah.
me.
So here's what she's gonna have to do. So here, she's actually gonna have to run this way, and she has to eat an opportunity attack from Reyna.
Come on, Reyna, F her up.
Come on, Reyna. Punch her in the tit.
This is risky.
Right in the tit.
You know what? She's not even gonna risk that. She's gonna take it too.
Whoa.
She'll burn with the rest of you. So sorry. Saves everybody.
In that dedication, actually.
21.
22.
12.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, I got a +7 to my con save. Pretty cool. I don't know how that happened. But don't roll again.
Them's the breaks.
Was it roll?
Well, I already rolled.
I know the second one was
Okay.
also good.
Better.
Sundara, you take 15 points of damage, and I need another concentration check.
What am I concentrating on?
Suggestion.
It's not a concentration spell.
Damn it. All right.
That is.
Nice
Varric,
try.
15 damage.
Got it.
Cass, you take 31 damage.
Okay.
And then she will fail on her own save. Take
Wah,
31
wah.
damage.
Oof.
And
Kill herself?
she is dusted.
So awesome. Oh, I'm out.
Oh my gosh,
Let's go
really?
back to the regular
Jesus.
plane. Let's get out of
That's
here.
some-
We're done.
Maybe is suggestion a concentration? Mass suggestion isn't.
Okay.
Are you still up, Cass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reyna. Reyna did fail, so she took a hefty amount of damage.
She's
She's
still up?
still up?
Reyna's fine. She didn't take any damage before this.
Oh.
Alright.
Well, la-ti-da.
Well, her thing didn't work because she didn't get the duel she wanted.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm so stressed out. All right, Thorn Elemental is gonna do disgusting things here, though.
I feel so bad.
Wait, question.
Yep.
So if I die, I die. But because she's dead, is that still the case?
You don't know.
Cool.
Sundara, give me an acrobatics check at disadvantage.
Oh
Can I
no.
restore balance to make it just acrobatics?
Yeah, it won't matter.
You're in a tree.
Yeah, that's an 8
Oh no.
under
Okay.
the tree.
I
I knew
got a natural 16
I knew it was gonna be bad. I did this.
plus 15.
My
so
original
that's a
plan was to
31.
just be in midair, so it's fine.
Let's do
31 damage?
This. Well, that's the athletics check.
Oh. Oh my god, it's the thorn guy.
So first off,
It's the thorn guy. Watch out.
I deserve it. I get it. I'm a problem child in the game sometimes, I get it.
so first things first.
Abducted her?
Like I said, I'm going to do mean things. You are going to take, as part of the grapple, 13 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
As it is cradling Sundara in his grasp, he is going to thorn walk through the wall of thorns.
That is evil.
Pretty rude.
Yep. So as Sundara is just being dragged through this wall of thorns, I mean, it's going to use its full movement, so how many triggers of Wall of Thorns will this... Here's what I'll do.
No, it's fine, just hurt me.
Okay, you know what? How much movement do I have? That's the better question. Okay, I'm actually a little low on movement here, so that's good for you. Okay, so we're going to say this is going to be 2 triggers of Wall of Thorns. So I need you to make a dexterity saving... I'm going to call this a constitution saving throw, because there's not much dexterity involved in this right now.
Seeing as you're grappled.
That's a 15.
Okay, and then give me another one.
Ooh, natural 20. 28.
Okay, so for the first trigger, you'll take 34 points of damage.
Oh, geez.
And for the second, you will take 21.
Also,
Oh,
geez.
are you awake?
34 and 21.
Yep.
I am awake.
Are you awake? Now that it's got its full movement, if it gets around its turn, Sundara's in a whole bunch of trouble. If she cannot get out of this. That is going to bring us to Samugi. You clicked to mute yourself.
Damn it. Okay. Where am I again?
Right here.
Okay. Is there anyone actively casting a spell on anyone else?
This hag is actively moonbeaming the shit out of Cass right now.
That's right. Okay. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. I'm going to bag this hag.
Nice.
Really good. Really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what
Okay.
we needed. That's what we needed.
I'm going to attack twice. Let's see here. That is a 26
That hits.
and a 14.
14 misses.
Alright. Okay. Do I get any Titan Butchers?
You get 1.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Oh, tired boy.
Yeah, that's 12 points of force damage and a stunning strike.
Stunning strike.
Oh, wait. Wait. Please don't take this away from me.
Hot as hell in this house.
Oh, are you shitting me? Damn it. I've got so much I want to do. Alright. Yeah, I'm stunned.
Oh no.
Does that mean I get attacks on, or advantage on attacks against that?
Yeah. And if I recall, that means Moonbeam drops.
Yes.
Dude, you're no longer being mooned. Oh, dude.
Okay.
Gas got mooned by a hag.
No,
What
I'm
else we
mooned
got
and it
here?
turned me naked.
So now you're mooning all that. Double moon.
Where is Millennia?
She's ultra dead.
Ultra dead.
Oh shit, okay.
Yourself.
The circle of death herself.
Oh,
And everyone else succeeded on the save but her.
well played.
I mean, it's a
Well
strat.
played. Okay, who's all left?
The hag you're destroying, the Thorn Elemental, and this druid here that hasn't done anything because he's been stunned.
Okay, nice. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna continue going to town on this hag.
Okay. You have advantage now. And I didn't say this out loud, but Serpa has also been turned into ash.
Oh,
Nice. Love that for
you
him.
did say it out loud.
Okay. By the
You know,
circle of death.
I have empowered arms I haven't even been using. Okay, now I know. Okay.
If I recall, the empowered arms you only get once per round.
Yeah, that's correct, but I haven't used it a single time this entire fight.
Yeah. But now you have advantage, so.
Okay, that is a 16, so 26, no, sorry, 25 and a 26 for my flurry of blows.
Okay.
Yeah,
Both super hit because she is stunned.
Yes. Wait, that was a 9. 14 plus 7. One plus 6, 27, and a d4. 29 points of force damage.
Okay. Samugi is just battering this hag right now.
Poor hag.
You do anything else, Moog?
That was my action. My bonus action. I'm gonna invert back to my position.
Okay, style points.
High ground.
That's it.
Okay. All right, that brings us to the Druid of the Old Ways, who hasn't been able to do anything until now.
What a bitch. Does he really have a goat head?
He does.
Don't be goat head discriminatory, Barrett.
I'm not, I was just wondering. I'm an equal opportunity smasher.
I didn't know you swung that way.
Okay. Oh, thanks, sweet baby Jesus. Okay.
My favorite baby.
All right, Sandara. Oh, you are more than tied up. That's great for me. Yeah.
I'm locked in tight.
That's.
I'm happy for you. I truly am.
So, who's locked down here? Who is locked down? Okay. This druid is going to cast Conjure Elemental.
Oh my god, what is with these guys?
Oh, dude, what?
And elementals.
And he's going to conjure an Earth Elemental.
We already did this. Lame. Get some new elementals.
The Earth Elemental. You know, actually, he's going to conjure it over here.
Good.
It is going to flank with him and make 2 slam attacks against you, Cass. Please. Oh, are you kidding me? 12 to hit. Oh, wait, no, that's way higher. 14.
Just barely.
Fucking hell. Oh my god, I hate it here. 17?
Actually, just barely misses.
It's got a +8, and it's flanking. I didn't roll above a 5.
A stupid one.
Okay. Yeah, it is just like wildly smashing as Cass is able to balance on this pedestal. Okay, that was my whole action and turn. We're back to the top with Miss Sandara. What are you doing?
Well, I feel like, Misty stepping out is always an option, but that's boring. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Banishment on it. Titan Banishment.
That's a flex.
I love it.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Yeah, this might not be good because before anything,
What?
Layer action.
I'll take thorn damage or something.
no, it's when you end your turn there. Okay, so go ahead and do a banishment.
Do a banishment. It's a heightened, so you roll at disadvantage.
You have heightened spell?
Yeah.
So good.
I never use it.
I mean, hey, this is when it matters.
Yeah.
All right. What are my saves?
The
Not charisma. Oh, I have a decent charisma score.
What? I didn't think this piece of.
I mean, considering banishment A. Okay, come on. Oh, disadvantage. Okay, the first one's a natural 18. The second is a total of 13.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 10.
Oh,
Wow, pretty good. Pretty good roll.
that's
Ten.
pretty good.
You are still in the shit.
Oh yeah, I know.
You are inside of the wall of thorns right now.
Oh, nice. Did I take falling damage?
You were not actually up there. He was dragging you through the wall of thorns.
Okay.
So you just stopped moving and you are inside the wall right now.
Can I move out of the wall?
Yeah. Which side do you want to go to?
The side where all the crap is happening.
Okay. Give me a. This will bring about a save. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
You can do it.
Thanks. 17?
This was his wall. What was his? Yikes! Why is that DC so high? No. Fail. Oh, because of Thorn Elemental. That's why. Okay. That's a fail.
What
Wow,
did you
low roll. You
do?
take 28 points of slashing damage.
Okay. That hurts really bad.
How are you still awake?
Taking a nap.
The tough feet is what
Yeah, I
it
was about
is.
to, I just as I asked that question, I was like, that damn tough feet.
You told me to take it.
We got a thick sorcerer over here.
Dude, I also took toughness.
With 2 C's. 28,
Right.
and I saved on banishment.
Yep. Yeah. See,
And
this is what I'm talking about, Pierce. So we discussed this earlier today.
Yeah. That thorn
What?
elemental's
what?
gone.
Yeah.
How much movement do I have left?
Um,
Put the flex
you've
together.
got 5 feet and you're prone.
All right.
So none.
I would. Yeah, yeah. Can I stand up? Am I allowed to stand?
Nope. It
Nope.
costs you
Okay.
15 feet to stand.
I will dodge as a bonus action.
Okay, you can do that.
You know, at least even the odds. She's rolling on the ground.
Yeah, you can do that. Jeez. Varric, what are we doing?
Shit. I was eating some ice. Well, there's a bitch that's like stunned.
Yep.
I'd like to whack her.
Okay.
At advantage?
Yep.
We're doing Great Weapon Master or whatever it's called. $19.
Hits.
Really big. 20.
Hits.
Oh, something. Okay. Seven. 21 for the first attack. And 21, same thing. Second attack.
Okay. Do you want to do this or do you want me to?
Do it, Alex.
So Samugi, you watch anyone watching this would just see Samugi dart in, just do like a barrage of punches as this witch is just kind of quivering, like trying to regain her senses here. And as Samugi blinks out after demonstrating expert technique, you watch as Varric blasts through and almost as an afterthought, just uses his hammer as like a whiteboard eraser and just like waves her out of existence as she just flies, smashes against the tree, and just becomes sort of a sack of like skin and blood. And as he just like basically swats her away and kills her.
Nice.
I'd like to continue my movement to get in range with that guy and attack him
Absolutely.
because Great Weapon Master happened. 19.
Let me double check.
And that is Great Weapon Master. Come on, baby.
19.
Come on,
Oh yeah, that way does it. Yeah.
11. 21 to get this guy too.
Do you want to do this or do you want me to?
Good lord.
Oh,
Eric.
do it! Did I just murder 2 people in a row?
This is a personal vendetta.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah.
you watch as Varric turns, just swats the witch away, and really that swat, it was literally just like an afterthought. That swatting motion was just the wind up of the overhead. He actually just straight up throws the hammer, and you watch as it just like smashes into the druid's head, and his head just basically like explodes. Varric then just like walks over, grabs the hammer, and begins to pull it up, and you watch as the druid's body just kind of like limply goes with it, as he just like like gives this like kind of somewhat disgusted grunt sound, and with a big like gauntleted hand just like grabs the body and like throws it to the side.
Does that make the elemental go away?
It does not. The elemental is now just enraged.
So much work now.
Okay, that brings us to everyone's dead. Cass and Reyna.
I'm out of superiority dice, guys.
I imagine these two things happen pretty close to Cass, so there's like stray spatter.
Oh yeah.
That hits him, and he just looks down at Varric like, dude. And I'm gonna.
I give him a thumbs up.
This guy's right on my hands.
Before you move, Reyna is going to cast Conjure Elemental and conjure another Earth Elemental to fight this Earth Elemental.
God. There's so many elementals. I'm elementaled out, guys. No.
It's going to take 2 slam attacks.
From the floor.
Shocker, both of them miss.
We agree with you.
Are these guys idiots?
Well, the thing is, you've got 2 like stone mountains that are just trying to pound each other right now. So like they're not missing. There's just like you're banging 2 rocks together, so it's not doing much. But it's got its attention, which seems like it was Reyna's plan, as you all just like gank this thing and kill it. Cass, what are you doing?
Can't we just leave now?
You could, actually.
There's just elementals here.
Yeah, okay. These things are fighting. I'm gonna do a quick look around. I'll use my action to make a perception check to see if that other witch is anywhere nearby or if she's fully gone.
Which the one that left initially?
Yeah.
You watched her go back through the transport via plant spell.
Okay. So
Like she climbed into a portal through a tree.
She's gone.
For the sake of this,
right, we're just gonna gang
we
up
can
and kill
briefly go. I mean, we can kind of go out of initiative here because like this thing's, I mean, literally surrounded by you guys. Sundara, you're concentrating on the banishment spell.
Yeah. I'm also like just kind of trying to roll out of the way. I'm hurting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll say, from a narrative standpoint, like, you guys will kill this thing. It's fighting with another Earth Elemental. You can bring it down, no problem. It's going to be pretty much the other Earth Elemental. Reyna is just going to command it to just kind of keep it grappled, and you're all just going to slowly like kill this thing at your own leisure. With that, there will just be one elemental left standing. Cass, you are still in changeling form, unless that has changed.
Nope. Yeah, I just hop off the platform, grumbling to myself at how disappointed he did this fight. And I just walk over to where the Green Witch's body was.
Okay. You can absolutely do that.
Oh.
Okay, can I go over to the Green Witch with him?
I click my tongue for Lucky to come out of hiding from wherever he was.
Okay. Lucky's gonna come out.
When we go over to the Green Witch, is there a body?
No, she has been like dusted. There's just like all you can see are just some magical trinkets that have been left behind.
What kind of magical trinkets?
So the first thing you see are three, essentially like bone charms, like just carved out of like bones of various animals. And they're all kind of like mangled and twisted together, so it's kind of hard to separate out the three, but you could if you took the time to do it. They're kind of like wrapped in like twine and what looks like human hair.
Gross. I'll pick them up. I mean,
just based on the fact that they have not been destroyed, you get the sense that they are probably magical. Are you identifying these as you go?
I have the. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Somebody write this down. Got it. Cool.
So the first item is a this is a primal charm of wagering. So this is just a charm. So it just takes one of your charm slots if you have, depending on how many slots you have. This basically allows you to cast a heightened spell for free at any time. If the target if the target succeeds on the save despite the heightened spell, it doubles the cost of the spell.
Oh.
Now, if you run out of spell slots to pay for this, it starts eating into your pool of hit dice. If your hit dice go to 0 by this effect, you die. There is a primal charm of the Oaken Heart. This allows you to, instead of rolling hit dice on a short rest, you just gain the max value for however many hit dice you use. And then you have a charm of the Stygian Star. So this gives you access to the spell Compelled Duel. You can cast it once a day instead of using spell slots. If you cast a debuff spell on one creature, both you and the target make a spell save against your spell DC. Sorry, a wisdom save against your own spell DC. And anyone who fails is taunted by the respective creature.
Interesting.
So you can end up trapping yourself.
Yeah, and they can save and not be taunted.
But they're still compelled to duel.
Okay.
Right?
Those are two different effects.
I understand.
So it allows you to attempt a compelled duel, but it means any. So if you cast like a hex on someone, it would prompt that saving throw interaction.
Okay. But okay.
So you can get 2 different people, or theoretically, however many, as long as you debuff.
Correct. Correct.
Let's, that right on Raina's belt.
What's the last one?
That was all 3.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said. Okay. Is there any other magical stuff I can identify?
So as you look around, you do see there is you see armor that fell off of the corpse of Serpa.
Is it magic?
You look at it and it is very magical.
What does it say? What does it do?
So you identify it.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Um, so you would need to be able to speak Druidic to make out the name of this armor. You do understand the effect of it.
Okay.
So this armor is literally made from stone. Its first ability is that while wearing this armor, you can, if you have the strength for it, or the beast that you take the form of has a strength for it, if you go into a polymorph or shape changed or wild shaped form, this armor will go with you, and you will get the benefits of it no matter what form you're in.
Oh, that's cool.
While you're wearing it, you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Also, you can, as an action, invoke the rune of this stone plate armor. This is a breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
So this is medium armor, but you can cast the Wall of Stone spell once a day with an action. Looking at the armor, you can tell it's made of stone, but it was hard to see when it was on Serpa's body, because the stone itself is like kind of razor sharp, like ocean shoal, where it's just like jet black. It also comes with a cloth hood that goes under the armor, that essentially you could like put a hood up or have it go back.
I mean, I'm gonna take all this stuff.
Okay.
I am gonna go over to Sandara and give her the charm about the spell, the meta magic one. Give her that.
Okay.
Yep, Charmander. She's just now getting off the floor.
How horrible does she look?
Really bad.
I'm gonna help her up, and as I'm helping her up, I'm gonna use lay on hands to give her 15 points.
Okay.
Thank you, Garrett. Did it work? Are you free from the circle? Do you feel released?
I look at the tattoo marking. Is it there? Does it look different? What's going on?
I mean, the tattoo's still there.
Does it? Okay. I don't know. But let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted to hear, but yeah, let's get out of here. I could go for like a bath and a nap. Oh, maybe Cobb has some food?
You know,
Do
goat
you think we
sounds
just
pretty
made
good.
them mad and they're gonna just send more people after you?
Possibly. But my contract was with Melina, and she's dust.
That pile of dust over there? Yeah.
That's actually where I got this charm.
Nice. Now that you mention it, how do we even get out of this? Since
Oh.
Autoluke sent us here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, Cass could make 2 trips with the horse, right?
I think I can do it once a day. I'm not sure if I can like re-enter you in my ethereal plane. Yeah, you know, I'll try it.
The nightmare can actually do it at will.
Oh, so okay.
So you can ferry however many people you want.
The
So
nightmare.
Cass
get
is off. Oh my god. Yeah.
Which part did you get? Did you get that it was a horse, or that it was like a scary dream because it's evil looking?
The mayor, the nightmare, the
Okay,
mayor part.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's cute. I like it. Did everybody else get it and I'm just late? Is that what happened?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think so.
Like, whoosh. Okay.
I was imagining it looking like Shadowmare from Skyrim. How far off am I?
You're close,
Cool, take it.
except it's way bigger.
No, I understood that. I just imagined a larger Shadowmare. I suggest that Sundara goes on the first trip with Cass and the Sentinel, and then Samugi and Reina and I will go the next time.
Okay.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Or Samugi and Reina will go next time, and I'll go last. I need a minute in the realm.
That's
Okay.
fishy.
When
Cass first. Go ahead.
you have you gone already?
I was just gonna start porting people over, but if you
Okay.
wanna do some shit.
While he's porting people over, I would like to go over to the pile of ashes that was Melina.
Okay.
And I'm going to get on the ground, and I'm going to pull out one of the feathers from my armor,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to place it on top of her ashes, and just say, the Raven Queen won this round, and then kick her ashes up and like spread them.
All right.
And I'll do the same thing to Rock Boy.
Okay. As you do that, you hear a faint chuckle on the wind as her ashes are spread. This kind of ghostly.
Is the tree portal open?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. So whenever Cass is done ferrying everyone else, I'll go go with
Wait,
him.
has it been a whole minute? Did that tree ever come back?
No.
It's,
Maybe
So-
from
If
a
you
different plane.
if you banish the thing to its original plane, it doesn't come back, right?
Yeah.
You were
if
on
you
the
focus on the-
ethereal plane when you banished it.
Which isn't its real plane.
Right.
It's in
Yeah.
the. We could go to. Do you?
So you banished it to the. So Sundar, as you ponder this, you realize that what probably happened, because druids drive they get their source of magic from the prime material. However, because you are not on the prime material, you banished it to a random place in the prime material from the ethereal realm, and then it stayed there.
Oh, so it's out there wreaking havoc on someone.
I mean, for all you know, it could be in the middle of Orphan in the docks, or it could be on top of or it could be in like the Sage's Quarry. You have no idea where this thing is.
It could be in the ocean.
I should probably spell
Generally, it's
magic
in
a little
a
better.
non-harmful place.
I mean, it's a tree. Trees like water.
We're gonna
So-
be just riding down a road one day, 6 years
There's
from
gonna be
now,
a
and a tree's just gonna be like, "Hey,
fucking tree.
F you guy."
Yeah, it's possible. No matter how improbable it may seem. So that you make your way back to the material.
Yeah.
Cass comes back,
Okay.
reins in hand, sort of comfortably leading Lucky. Alright. I guess you don't gotta hop on, but stay near.
Yeah, I stand next to.
And we go back to regular land.
Okay. Uh, uh, just curious, Sundar, where's Leopold been this whole time?
I think he stays on my shoulder and just goes invisible.
Okay.
But then sometimes he just pops up on his own. So.
Okay. We'll say you gently feel his little imp appendages rest on your shoulder after briefly having the thought of, oh, did he just get blended in the wall of thorns? He did not. He was elsewhere when you went through the ninja blender.
Call it the cheese grater on Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys said that on stage.
I've never seen it done against the PCs, but well done.
Oh, is that an actual thing? Do people do that?
Yeah.
With like what? Like telekinesis?
Or just a barrack. Just have
Oh.
someone like shove them in and out.
Of a wall of thorns specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow, I
That's
didn't
so
know
much
this was a
damage.
move. Yeah, I didn't know this was a move, but yeah, nice. Okay, well, I'm glad I pulled off. I'm glad I made
Yeah, you
Reddit proud. Okay. So with that, you make it back to the house.
Can I ask Leopold, like, hey, what's up? Is there something, you good?
Oh, I was just taking a look from above. Quite interested in some of the pieces that you pulled off of those druids.
Oh yeah, go, I think Barrick has the rest of them if you want to take a look.
Maybe I'll wait.
It doesn't want to talk to me.
Leopold was interested in the
No,
stones, Melania stones. What?
Don't tell me I'm asking. Don't get mad.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Barrick. I was very interested in the stones that you got from Melania, and I was wondering if I could take a closer look at them. Maybe.
I set the rune things down, and I set the armor down, and I'm like, I wonder what Leopold could find out about these artifacts. And then I walk off.
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. Sometimes with my glasses, my depth perception is not the best.
You feel the tiny weight like lift off your shoulder, and you just hear this like clumsy fluttering in the air because he's got a like tiny bookcase strapped to his back. Um, and you just kind of like see as you're all in the house, you could be wherever you want to be, kind of like resting up. Cobb is going to be kind of tending to people's wounds, like old school style, like bandages and like wet soaks, things like that.
I'm searching for Autoluke. Is he here? Autoluke.
Yes.
I need your wisdom.
Yes. Wisdom is something that I have in great abundance.
So, remember when you said not to make a deal at that wizard party, and then I did it anyways with Melania the witch?
I do not recall.
Okay, well let's just say that happened, and it did. And so I was like part of their weird druid cult thing. And then I broke the deal by reminding my ex-wife that we had been married and that her child was our child, and you know.
So, Varric, what is the question?
The question is, she's dead. Am I cool now, or like, how does that work?
Well, you killed all of them, right? Like, none of them got away.
One of them got away.
How many were there in total?
Including 6, I think.
6.
That's
And
including.
were all of them witches?
No.
So not counting any of the if they had like if they had like any dogs or like birds, like don't count those, just like things that would you could consider to be witches. How many of those were there?
Hey, was the goat man a witch?
Let's say yes.
4.
Okay. 4 total. And
is that right?
I think so.
Okay.
It's not.
Fuck.
Oh. 5?
5 would be correct.
Okay, 5.
5. Ah. Well,
4 of them totally dead.
My short answer for you is 66% chance you're probably good.
Not great odds.
Well, I mean,
Right.
here's how it works. A coven generally is going to operate in groups of 3. So you can have a group of 3, you can have a group of 6, and you can even have a group of 9. When you get to a group of 9 or larger, you generally call it a cabal. I happen to be in a cabal at one time.
How was that?
Well, I gotta say, as far as making gold, it was a pretty sweet deal.
Cool.
Back in those days, I was pulling loads of ass. Outside of that, not quite as fulfilling as the work I do now.
So, what you're saying is, because there was 5, and that's not a normal number of dudes or witches, it's a higher probability that I killed the 3 that my deal was with.
Yes, so out of that 5, 3 of them would have been in the coven. And if only one of them got away, odds are you probably got them.
How will I know?
Well, if there were any markings that were left on you, or any curses that you could feel or hear or see or sense in one way or another, they would disappear.
I mean, there's a tattoo. It's still there.
I'd say your odds are closer to 0%. I think that one that got away was probably one of them.
Son of a bitch. So, until that witch is killed, if I die, I'm just dead. My soul goes to that witch. Because I broke the deal and it's in the contract, you know.
Oh, did you read the Oh, we talked about this. Of course you didn't read the contract.
Nope.
Yeah. To be fair, I've signed tons of deals in my day, and I didn't read the contract either.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
It's not entirely true. I always skim the contract. There's certain verbiage and arcanese that you learn to kind of sort through in a quick
I
amount
mean,
of time.
I skimmed it, but it didn't make a lot of sense.
I'm sure it did in its own way.
Whatever. So, I had to kill this witch.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that, because if you've murdered a group of her coven, she's now going to probably start by rebuilding her coven. So, if you don't find her promptly, I reckon there'll be another 3 to deal with. Now, you can always try to buy your way out.
What do you mean?
Well, on one hand, you could try to find someone who will take care of this problem for you. There's many mercenaries and groups like that that are known for witch hunting. Outside of that, you could attempt to make a deal with a devil or some kind of other witch to go and negotiate with the other witch on your behalf. It's sort of like refinancing a loan.
I don't think the Raven Queen would like that.
Oh, you're getting all religious on us now, are you?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
But she kind of has my boy, you know. I saw him
look,
grown up.
far be it from me to tell anyone what to believe. I would say, as far as your initial question about you dying and then having your soul be taken, usually, despite common belief, those type of effects are not as common as one may think. Especially given you're a religious man, I recommend you see a cleric, and a good one. They may be able to look into this matter a little more deeply.
Do you think they
And
could
look
take the curse off?
Probably not if you made a deal willingly, which is why a wise wizard might say don't make any deals. But they could at least tell you a little bit more about the nature of it. I could do it too if you give me 500 gold pieces.
Okay. One more question. You know what? Hold off. Yeah, I'm gonna. So, we saw them. I left. Bye. I go out to find Cass.
Okay, use the wizard for the knowledge and then leave.
What? We'll catch up later, alright? I've got a curse to deal with.
It's not a curse, it's a pact.
Whatever. Curse
You
Jack.
made.
I've got to get out of contract. And you don't.
Look, one might say there's a lesson to be learned from all this, but perhaps I'm not wise enough to see it.
What's the lesson?
Perhaps
Don't
that is
sign.
your journey to learn. Take care, old friend.
You too. Cass.
As Varric's running towards Cass, we're going to go back to Leopold and Sandara. Um, Leopold is no longer invisible. He's actively kind of poring over the armor. As he does, he just goes, "Ah, this is sort of fascinating. Interesting that one of them would be carrying this. It's not
What
really.
is it? It's because it's cursed. It's cursed, isn't it?
No, it's not actually.
Oh, that's a surprise. Almost like
Yeah.
75% chance if Eric picks something up, it's cursed.
Yeah, I mean it's well, it's not cursed, but it's sort of how do you put it? It's been, oh man. Can you reach towards my back? I keep a thesaurus around here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, wait, try to
Yeah,
find the
you can
source.
find
It's
like
tiny,
a
right?
small. Yeah, you can find like a small thesaurus.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Uh, yeah, okay, gotcha. So, I wouldn't call it cursed, but maybe like desecrated or besmirched or profaned or perhaps tainted.
Are those all
It's
synonyms for
it
cursed?
sounds like cursed, but it really is just this used to be a much more powerful artifact. In fact, this would have been a piece of equipment that would have been um, donned by the champion of Sylvanus, which is an old archaic god of nature. Um, my druidic is a little old, but in its current state, its name or what this magical item would be known as would be the Ruid Scar Aegis, which is a pretty cool name.
So you're telling me that Varric is like just collecting freaking armor and weapons of various gods, their champions? Then he's gonna be like this massive multi-champion.
Oh,
What? What?
does he have vestiges of other gods on him?
Oh yeah, he and Dagon are like figuring it
Oh,
out right now.
oh yeah, with the well, Dagon's not really a god. I mean, well, some people worship him as a god, but he's more of like a demon prince,
Okay, that makes it
which
much
also is
simpler.
pretty cool, right?
I mean, yeah, Varric is cool. He collects cool stuff. It's just kind of weird, right? Isn't that like? Isn't
All
that?
right,
Isn't?
I'm talking about the trident of a demon prince. That part's cool.
Yeah, yeah. But like, isn't? Would it? Like, what is the coincidence that one person starts collecting spontaneously various items that make him champion of various deity type beings?
To be fair, the way I see it, your guys's process seems to be that you kill people and take their stuff. So, in
That is
theory, the probability of you gathering more and more legendary items seems to be directly correlated to the rate at which you kill people. Lately, it seems like you guys have really turned it up and cranked up the numbers as far as killing people. I mean, you alone, over the last couple of weeks, I counted 3.
which three? I'm not sure about that. Are you sure?
Well, there was the one on the pirate cliffs for sure, and then there was the issue on the boat at one point.
Oh,
Uh,
there.
that was
Yeah.
a two for,
Okay.
and I'm using a pretty conservative term when I talk about people. If we start kind of blurring those lines, that number goes way up.
Oh, okay. So you're right on that
So,
account, Leo.
as far
Yep.
as bookkeeping goes, you guys have done much better as you've been killing more and more people.
As far as what goes,
Yeah. You know,
He said
I'm not sure.
bookkeeping.
I really thought about it like that.
I mean, it. I thought that was the whole strategy. You're a mercenary group, and basically you go around and find people that are probably not going to be missed. You kill them and you take their stuff.
You sell that stuff for other stuff like food and lodgings. I mean, that's basically your guys' whole business model, right? It's not like you go and talk to people and try to solve their
We
problems for money.
we do talk to some people. That's okay. Don't
I've
be
seen you.
unfair,
I've seen
Leo.
you talk to people. No, hey, I'm not knocking it. If anything, it worked better than my last masters. I mean, they should have killed way more people.
I like lift up the or try and lift up the stone armor to like bring it into the house
It's
as
it's
Leo
lighter
and I
than
are
it looked.
having. Oh,
Anyways, far be it from me to. I mean, you guys obviously know what you're doing. Like you said, you're collecting armors and weapons of gods champions and demon princes and stuff like that. Um, and then there's all this business with this inevitable too. So I mean, at some
yeah,
point,
but
it's like, do you really need the arbor of Sylvanas and the trident of Dagon? And I've got like the, blah 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 of like this inevitable. Like at some point, I mean, that's probably your retirement right there, right? You sell one of those, keep the other two. Maybe they appreciate value.
you're giving me a lot to think about, Leo, and I'm not sure if it's stuff that I really wanted to think about right now, but that's very good points.
It's only your future. You can only do this shit for so long.
I mean, what is your retirement plan then?
Oh, well, I'm going to complete my series of encyclopedias. I'm hoping to get published by um, uh, a publisher out of Karsa's Folly. Then I'll probably try to make my way back to the Nine Hells after I make a bunch of money, buy my way out of my current contract so that I can gain my own freedom. And then after that, I don't know, maybe I'll get a couple devils of my own. Maybe I could be a chain devil or a barbed devil, or I don't know. Maybe with enough time and depending on what we find together, I could be a pit fiend.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. This contract, you don't have to buy yourself out of this contract. You can just tell me when you want to leave. That's what
Oh,
you mean.
I'm on lease.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what does that mean?
it means you own my contract for, I think the terms are 90 years. After that, it reverts back to its original control.
Who's the original control?
It's a bit of a piece of work, but it's a gentleman by the name of Galzebor.
I don't think I've met this person.
Oh, you don't want to meet Galzebor. Sort of like a
Okay,
loan
well,
shark. He actually did some work out of Langston. Um, he works for the one that they call the Holder of Ledgers.
okay. Well, I'll add it to my list of things to like circle back to because that sounds, I mean, not ideal.
I mean, you don't have to be polite. You don't have to memorize any of that. I don't, it's not your
I
problem.
memorize, I memorize so much stuff, Leopold. You and I are so similar. Okay, I write down everything. Do not worry.
Yeah, I do notice you take pretty good notes.
Thank you. Maybe one day I'll write my own encyclopedia. That does not compete with yours, obviously.
But yeah, sure. Anywho, just thought it was interesting that this arbor is just sort of crazy that it was in the hands of these druids because they seem way not like that, But it's clear that it's probably been with them for a while because it is, as you could say, besmirched.
What do you think he could have gotten it from somewhere else that is not the druids?
Who?
I don't know. I know
Derek?
nothing about this. No, the armor. Serpa, the guy who originally had the armor.
Oh, I mean, he for sure got it from. I mean, I don't know about him, but at some point, I mean, it seems kind of obvious, right? They just kind of did the thing that you did, where they found some
Oh,
champion of Sylvanas, killed him, and took his stuff.
yeah.
And then after a long time of being held by this evil druid group, the armor just kind of lost some of its glamour to it.
To
That's
circle
why I
around.
was interested, because it's just kind of an interesting story.
Yeah, I see. Varric, I come into the house.
Okay. You watch as Varric just like kind of rushes past you as you call out his name, yelling for Cass.
If she calls my name, I'll stop.
Yep, but I brought the armor. Somebody I know said that it is like the armor of Sylvanas. It's like a champion's armor or something, and it's like not cursed, but it was something magical. I don't know.
Did he tell
Here
you
you
how
go.
much it's worth?
Retirement monies.
No, how much? Did you tell you how much the armor is worth?
I presume Leopold is now invisible, and anyway.
No, he's on your
Shoulder again?
shoulder. Like, yeah.
No. Hey, Leopold, do you know how much the armor's worth? Asking for a friend.
I mean, it's the armor of a dead god that nobody worships, so it's worth basically however effective it is. So I don't know, probably decently worthy. I mean, it's a legendary piece, so.
I mean, it's legendary, so money
I mean, that doesn't
and gold,
answer my
probably.
question.
Okay,
7
well,
gold.
I don't run an armor store, so I don't know. Probably a lot, probably more than I would ever see in my lifetime.
Well, I was looking for Cass, but you might actually so that one druid that got away, or the witch, she was part of the group that we needed to kill,
Okay.
so I'm not cursed. Can you scry on her, find out where she is?
Yes. I sit down right where we are and pull out the Palantir.
I sit down next to her, unsure of this ritual.
Alright, let's do some scrying. I think it's just a straight. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do a heightened scry just because this seems important.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a success on the save.
Success on the save.
I mean, this is a pretty hard, they've got a pretty large DC bonus because you know nothing about this individual. You've seen them for a second. You know what?
Okay.
I guess you've met the target, technically. No, you haven't met the target, because I think meeting the target is actually, not, seeing them as they, transport via plants. So, yeah, no. Pretty tough DC.
I tried and I could not see anything. Do you know of another way to find out where she may be? Like, she might be in the camp outside of Karsus Folly.
Yeah. I really wanted to just finish this.
That would be my only other thought, is that we just go there right away.
Can we have
Obviously, we'll.
a team meeting?
Yeah, I would love to have a team meeting. You go, I'll go get the movie, you go get Cass.
Yeah. Cass! Cass!
I make my
Team meeting! Captain meeting!
Okay.
I'm knocking on doors, screaming his name, opening unlocked doors.
Okay.
He comes inside from the front door. Oh.
Oh. Cass!
screaming
Are we in
pretty
chain?
loud. Yeah.
Cass, great to see you. We're having a team meeting.
Team meeting, Cass. As Autoluke steps in.
Autoluke? Captain meeting, sorry.
Ah, well then why are you calling for Cass? We would just...
Cass is one of the captains?
I'm a captain.
Oh, are you made a captain too?
Well, we all share the title of captain.
I am well aware that we all share the title of captain.
What, you're not a captain?
In
But you
this
know what?
crew?
Okay, you know what? Actually, Autoluke,
I mean, does
you
it
might be
hurt to
helpful.
have him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I find some movie? Probably sipping tea somewhere in a corner.
Yes, team meeting. I will be there shortly.
So
I
captain,
need to find a room that's not occupied.
there's one room that is occupied by Cobb, as he's sitting behind the bar, just like cleaning some glasses.
Can I roll some hit dice?
Yes,
Oh,
this can be a short rest.
no.
You do smell the very pleasant aroma of what sounds like a hot apple cider.
What does a
Okay,
hot
so
apple
it
cider
sounds
sound
like-
like?
You've never had a hot apple cider? What?
What does it sound like?
I don't know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds
Did
like
I say here?
Yeah.
you
Oh,
You
said
said you
it
sorry.
sounds-
smell that it sounds like a nice hot apple cider.
Oh, I do not at all recall saying that. No, but no, there's definitely the smell of a hot apple cider coming from behind the bar in the kitchen right now.
Is this a private thing, team meeting? It seems pretty urgent.
Trying to do it privately.
hit dice roll. Roll, roll,
Whenever
roll.
Smokey gets here, guess we can.
Okay, everybody rolls in.
Yeah, just go to any of the many empty rooms.
Yeah, we'll find a room large enough for all of us to sit down. So, as Sundara and Onluke know, we missed the one witch, and that one was part of the group. What'd you call the group, Onluke?
The
Oh,
coven?
the coven.
Yeah, she was part of the coven. That was part of my contract. So we're still. I'm still contracted. There's another thing I wanted to bring up. This the trident. I have to put it on the tallest mountain for 100 years to get rid of it. I was wondering if you could like guy ship over there and I could drop it off and you know, go from there. Also, I would like to finish this witch business. I had a conversation with Sarah, and I've had time to contemplate but after we kill the Bone King, or die trying, it's gonna be time for me to go home and be a father. That being said, I would like to finish up this uh, contract business before we do any of that. So, if you guys would like to join me in trying to kill this witch, that would be wonderful. If not, I understand and I will do it alone. It is my contract, it was my decision, and I don't want to endanger you if you don't want to fight any more witches, because that was bothersome, to put it lightly. And the longer we wait, the more time she has to make another coven, as per our Luke's wisdom.
Well,
Autoluke just kind of quietly goes, You're leaving the team?
Not until I avenge my son, but I asked Sarah what she thought was best for our family, and she said being a father, and I said, okay. And then she left, and then I thought about it, and I feel like when I first found out about my daughter, I thought I should not be a part of this child's life. I'll just get her killed, and then Sarah will be really mad, and then I'll never be able to be with my wife again. Ex-wife. But now I feel like I could do more good as a father than I could as trying to gather a bunch of random artifacts from some destroyed god thing. Um, and if the world ends, then I'd rather spend the last few months with my daughter than, ending up dead somewhere alone. So after I avenge my son, I will be heading home or to that boat on a mountain or whatever.
Well, I can't exactly fault you for wanting to spend time with your family, whatever
I mean, I
time
love
you
all
have.
of you a lot, and it's not that I don't think what we're doing is good. It's it's super important, but I also think that my daughter is more important to me. So
So we'll do the job of making sure she stays alive, so you can spend some time with her.
that being said, I say we try and get some rest. Um, I don't know what. I mean, what's the plan? What's the next move? As a group, what do we want to do?
well, it seems that finding this witch is time sensitive, so perhaps we should start there.
Thank you, Samugi. Zandara, you're being uncharacteristically quiet.
Um, Sandara stands up kind of abruptly, and like her chair scrapes, and it's kind of jarring, and how everybody's been a little bit quiet. And she goes, "Yeah, yeah, we'll clean up your dirty work, and then you can leave, and yeah, we'll be fine." And she walks out.
Autoluke's eyebrows are so high up on his forehead right now.
I was gonna be a little bit more polite than that, but I think we should rest for the day and maybe talk about this more tomorrow. And I leave the room as well.
Autoluke kind of looks over at you, Samugi.
The movie just sort of ignores Autolook and pats Varric kind of on. Well, he would pat him on the shoulder, but it's too tall, so he just kind of pats him on like the shin or the knee or something, and like bows his head and walks out as well.
That didn't go how I saw it in my mind.
Well, let me share something about my life. I think it might be helpful. Any good wizard thinks that they're the best. Because if you don't think you're the best, then you wouldn't be any good, would you?
No.
The ones that are truly great understand that the only way to be better than the best is to use a simulacrum spell to make more copies of yourself. So there's even more of the best. You see, the point I'm trying to make is this. Being the best and being the most important one, it's a lonely path. One that seems we have been forced to walk.
I don't want to be the best, Luke. I just want to be a good dad. I messed that up the first time. I don't want to mess it up again.
Well, it seems to me, as an outsider looking in, the question would then be, what does it take to be a good father? And yes, being present with your family sounds important, but with all this Faraday business, with everything else going on with my old friend, Trissandra, ugh. Who knows what lies for the fate of the rest of us, and if your presence would have made a difference, who knows?
Luke, can you help me teleport to my wife?
I'll tell you this.
I just need to talk to her.
As I was saying, I'll tell you. No, I cannot. I am out of spell slots.
Cool.
If it makes you feel any better, I used them frivolously because I did not know that they would be needed.
Honestly, I would expect nothing less from a wizard of such high standing as yourself. That was not facetious.
Oh, I know. Believe me, a wizard always knows. You never end a day with a single spell slot that you haven't spent.
Sounds like a good motto.
Because preparedness is the enemy of fun. And he takes his finger and tries to boop your nose.
I allow the nose boop.
He boops it and just says, "Wow, you really are defeated right now. Shame." And he turns and leaves.
I am sitting in this room alone.
As you're sitting alone, like about a minute maybe goes by, you hear like the creaking of wood. A couple footsteps come over. Hot cup of apple cider gets left at the table. Little towel like pops up around the shoulder, and Cobb just kind of walks away.
Come.
Yeah, boss.
First of all, thank you very much for the apple cider. Second of all, can you help me teleport to see my wife?
Unfortunately, I do not know magic. What I can do, though, is I've got a little trinket that I use to communicate with people every now and then. It's get you a few words. I've got charges left, so you could use about 4 of them. Would that help?
I will use as few as possible.
Let me go ahead and grab that for you, and I just want you to know that I didn't hear everything. And he turns around and walks away.
How hot's the apple cider?
It's pretty hot. Like, you're gonna want to probably let it cool for a second.
I'll wait for him to return, and then
Yeah, he returns with this like amulet.
Wow, fancy. I take a sip of the cider. It's good.
It's great. It's the best cider you've ever had.
Shit, did you make this?
Yep. The apples are grown here on the estate. They're actually these come from the Sarek's Run.
Do you sell this?
Nope.
Fucking should. Best cider I ever had.
Appreciate it.
Do you think I could have a minute?
Yeah. Look, there's more behind the bar. I'll leave it on the stove. Just turn it off before you turn in, if you wouldn't mind.
You got it.
He turns and leaves.
I hesitate reaching out to Sarah, but I will, and I'll say, "Hey, it's Derek. I love you, and I would like to talk to you in person."
You kind of hear like a bit of a sleepy voice go, yeah, talking in person can work. You can come here tonight or tomorrow or whatever works for you.
Okay. I'll try in the morning. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, I finished my apple cider, and then I sulkily walk to the kitchen to turn the burner off,
Mm-hmm.
as I don't want to burn the house down.
Okay.
I also don't know where to put this amulet, because Cobb just kind of left.
Mm-hmm.
Are there like lockers for the staff?
There's not much staff. It's mostly clockwork sentinels.
I find one, and I give it the amulet. I say, "Give this to Cobb first thing in the morning, please."
It takes it.
What's your name?
You hear the voice of Oswald Beaumont just say, "Welcome to Barrowmore. If there's anything I can assist with, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm sure I can find someone who can help."
What are you going to do with that amulet?
The machine will follow your instructions and place this item where you wish it to be placed.
Give it to Cobb first thing in the morning.
The machine will follow your instructions.
You know what? I take it
Place
back.
this item
I take it
where
back.
it needs to be placed. It finishes as you take it back.
God damn it. I'll just hold on to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to find an empty room that's Goliath sized and go to sleep. Frustrated.
Okay.
And sad.
Okay. Is anyone else do anything before the night comes to a close?
I don't think so. I don't think Cass says a word to either of them if they meet briefly as we exited the room. Oh, you know what? I actually would like to do something.
Okay. We can start with this.
After walking out of the room, I go back outside with Lucky.
Okay.
And just gently pat him as I send a cast ascending to Dunsparrow.
Okay.
The Green Witch is dead. Part of her coven. One escaped. Don't know if it matters. How you feeling? Sorry if this is interrupting anything important. Don't reply if you can't.
Oh, you're not interrupting. Excellent work. Give my kudos to the rest of your team. Funnily enough, I think my friend might be able to help us clean up this issue. He'll be coming by in the morning.
Oh, shit, can I even send a reply back?
You'd need to cast another spell.
I know. I can. Using my last third... Well, do I use my last third level spell just to say, good, now's the time for surprises. Not
It's no response.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it. That's all Cass is doing before. Just like dropping his hand down below Lucky's chest belly. And it shrinks back into his hand. Puts it in his pocket, goes to bed.
Well, right as you do that, you can't help but notice, like, in the space around you, there's this, like, ever so slight, like, geometric shimmer. Like a couple, almost like these, like, very faint ley lines that you notice.
I turn on my special eyes. Detect magic. Helps and inspect it.
As you activate detect magic, there's no magical effect that's visible, but you still see this, like, faint glimmer around you.
swipe my hand through it.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna roll good. 19.
There's nothing physical for you to interact with, and as you like look over this thing, the only thing that kind of compares to this like disruption around you is from back when you were at Faraday's Manor, passing through the Blue Veil, when you were in that desert, and like watching those strange when the drifter was playing that song.
All right. Not in the mood for this, traveler. You can hear me. Please make this do something. And Vine creeps out down my sleeve. Normal ass acoustic guitar appears in my hands. I begin playing. It's so strange to me that it's just guitar.
Okay.
Where, I'm sorry, where, is this specifically somewhere on the island localized, or like I can just see these strings of stuff?
You can't tell if it's localized around the island because it's kind of all around you.
Okay.
So you begin plucking away.
Yeah. Close my eyes and Cass is looking at himself, the other self, in that desert scene, just envisioning his face as he plays.
Okay. As you do, you begin to kind of feel this harsh wind against your face. And you almost feel like you get like soaked by like a tidal wave or something like that. It doesn't interrupt your playing as you realize you've just passed like a whole day of a heavy downpour that's just gone by in a flash. And then this accelerates and accelerates until you just kind of feel numb to everything. And while you keep the rhythm constant, you begin to kind of see the trees waver. And as you look out towards the sea, back towards Langston, back towards the mainland, you begin to hear these faint screams. And what you see is the island begins to move. The body of Karsus begins to move as it rises from the water. From the north, a landmass curls over the Dalmiri sands as you just watch as like an entire landmass falls off of what looks like a sleeping giant. Snow-capped mountains and just like thick glaciers and sheets of ice just crack with the movement, and there is just carnage and destruction like that of something you couldn't imagine. Yet, despite seeing all this, in this little bubble that you're in, it's just quiet and peaceful. And the face you see is beautiful. It looks like a handsome masculine face.
I'm sorry, the face of the island?
Yep.
Okay.
Um, and as you watch kind of like the flecks of earth flick away, you see something with golden skin, golden eyes, almost like two burning suns within this thing. You also can see, almost like inside the chest cavity, it looks like two hearts that are beating like next to each other, in kind of a staggered sync. So there's this like quadruplet rhythmic pattern that seems to match the rhythm that you're creating with your guitar. And as this happens, and as you watch tidal waves just engulf the rest of this plane, you watch as this beautiful creature that has just appeared before you raises a hand, and you watch as the sun gets immensely bright and brighter and brighter, and then it gets hot, and then it gets too hot, and then it gets to a point where you can feel your skin just boiling, and you watch as these tidal waves, before they can even hit this little island of Barrowmore, you watch as they begin evaporating into steam and ocean levels fall, and you slowly watch as the kind of wet sands before you are immediately dried and then turned into glass as there's this flash of light, and you continue playing, and everything is as it was before you started your song. And you hear a faint crackle of leaves from the forest, like just 15 feet out. And you see kind of like the familiar brown leathers just kind of leaned up against the tree.
Cass is drenched in sweat. You know, I appreciate it. It'd be nice if you didn't just show me things that are dying, though.
I didn't show you anything.
Huh.
You found a sliver. You peeled it back and took a look within. It'll change every now and then. Sometimes the face is different. Sometimes it's like the one that you saw before. But it always ends the same.
Well, it's not like we didn't know this was gonna happen. It's just never... It's not easy seeing it all.
No. It does not get any easier.
Hey, do you know anything about the Raven Queen? Seems you to, walk the same branches, maybe?
She's an old friend, or I suppose a new one. Sometimes it's hard to remember. Why do you ask?
I don't know. Looking for leverage, I guess.
Are you trying to change this?
What? Why wouldn't I? That's what I've been doing for
Did you ever ask yourself why you would?
Cass sits down on the grass, cross-legged. Selfish reasons, I suppose, at the end of it all. There's a lot of innocent people here does it just stop at this island in this part of the ocean?
Of course not. What you saw is the beginning of what's known as a clean slate.
How many of these clean slates have you seen? Do you even care anymore? Or is it just... I don't mean that. Is this normal to you?
Well, you brought up the loss of innocent life. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of innocent life that relies on that clean slate. There's a lot of life that needs it if it's ever to be born. When you're in a constant, never-ending state of death and rebirth, who are you to say when the time's right?
Wow.
Don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Don't want you to hurt yourself.
I don't appreciate. I told you I wasn't quite in the right mood and I didn't expect to see any of that.
Well, advice moving forward, if you're not in the mood, don't look.
Wow.
Fair enough.
That's one thing I learned pretty early on, is you never, ever ask questions that you don't want the answer to.
Well,
So-
I suppose I have enough to think about tonight. There's hot cider in the kitchen, I think, if you want some. I'm going in.
As you turn and leave, you just kind of hear rustling from the point that you left the drifter. And you kind of hear him mutter something. You hear him say, "Could I be him? I bet I could."
I ignore
As
that.
you could tell it was not meant for you.
Oh,
You just kind of heard him saying it to himself, like you barely heard it.
okay.
Sindara, what are you doing for the rest of the night?
She's in her room, angry and not talking to anyone unless approached.
Okay. As you enter your room, I imagine you're just sitting on your bed, kind of brooding.
Mm-hmm. A lot of brooding.
You get this the sense that there's something in here. There's something magical. Like a pulse of energy, some kind of like rhythm.
And I sense where it's coming from.
Seems like it's coming from the floor.
You look down. There is a glyph of warding that is under your bed. There is no mistake. This is pretty obviously Solinor's work.
Can I tell what spell the glyph is holding?
Give me an Arcana check.
Uh, 13.
13. Seems to be some kind of transportation spell.
Ooh. Choo choo.
I guess I'll just. I'm gonna finish. She's gonna like finish kind of cooling down because she's really angry right now before she like tries to go to bed and see if this does anything.
Okay.
Maybe like a little pacing, maybe throwing a couple of things, just a few things.
Oh no.
Okay. You all hear things breaking in Sindar's room.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Now I feel very bad. Worse than before.
Yeah, then she'll just go to bed, and she's still pretty upset, but it's kind of just cool off.
Okay. You're stepping on it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you do, you watch as are you wearing shoes right now?
No, not in the
Okay.
house.
You watch as your foot just begins to be like disintegrated um, in like this golden light, and that effect um, travels up your leg, up the rest of your body, and you slowly just like vanish from existence. And for a second, you are just in complete quiet and darkness. Um, um, as it happens, you just kind of feel this warmth, and you vaguely begin to hear this. How do I describe it? You hear in the distance like rocks smashing. Um, and you look kind of beyond. You're back in like the fiery chasm that you left.
Mm-hmm.
Except you look around and you see a lot of the things around here are kind of in a state of disrepair. Um, and you see in the distance, um, you watch as you hear this like snapping sound followed by this like arcane reverberation, and then this like horrible like ripping, like it just sounds like reality itself is just being like torn to shreds right now. And above the lava pits, um, you watch as you see this like glowing green beam as Solinor is like flying in the air, like just like floating above the lava pit, like cutting a swath through a mountain peak with a disintegration spell. And you watch as the tip of the mountaintop just like like falls and like slides, like this lava rock avalanche just slides into the lava, just shooting like magma up in the air. As that happens, you hear this like heavy mechanical whirring, and you watch as there's kind of like this golden energy that surrounds him, as kind of in the distance, like 40 feet away, there's this like capsule that he seems to be drawing this energy from, that is like glowing with like this golden light that looks like it gets depleted, and then you hear this hissing sound, and this capsule opens, it ejects what looks like some kind of cell that just like drops into the lava pit, and you hear another mechanical whirring, and there's almost like this huge mechanical revolving chamber, and another lands, and with that you watch as he just begins like raising the side of this mountain.
Does he know that I'm here yet?
Doesn't appear
Already?
that he does.
I'm gonna like try and sneak up behind him.
Okay, he's flying right now.
Oh, well, sneak up close enough where he'll hear me shouting.
Okay.
I'm like kind of surprised that he doesn't know that I'm here. Can you teach me that?
He like stops and like kind of slowly, you see him kind of turn and look behind him, and you see he's wearing like this almost like a welding, I mean it's kind of like his work mask that you see him wear. He's got like this kind of like brass like face shield, and you just watch as he like looks over and then just begins kind of hovering your way. You watch as he begins getting a little bit of uh, a descent to kind of like meet your step, and he just holds out his hand.
I'll take his hand. I
Okay.
don't have fly prepared, so I can't fly on my own.
He is going to back up and like stop as he is like now extending your arm, and there's nothing but like a sheer drop and lava beneath you, and he just like expectantly is waiting for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
He's gently like pulling you closer and closer towards the ledge.
I walk closer towards the ledge.
You cannot.
I'm not hesitating. Okay,
Okay.
then I'm just going to step forward.
Okay. You step forward and begin to drop, and he begins to drop with you as you watch as he drops his concentration on the fly spell to twin cast it again on both of you. And then he just kind of keeps your hand and then just kind of turns it over so that you're both facing the same direction, and he kind of leads you over to this open area that he's in. And you hear his voice is now like distorted and reverberated as he just says, "I wasn't expecting you, but I told you this is the place I go when I'm feeling destructive."
I'm
And he
feeling
kinda
quite destructive too today.
grabs you by both shoulders and like pulls you up by like flying, and he kind of like almost like kind of corrects your position a little bit, and he just goes, "Here." And you hear this huge metal thud behind you, and you feel this like arcane restoration as this golden energy is just like moving its way into your body, as there's just like these weaves of arcane energy that are just slowly, almost like a radiator, like this arcane warmth. All your spell slots are restored, all your sorcery points are restored.
That's crazy.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna cast disintegration. Let's go.
He's doing that casually.
And he just kind of looks at you, and you watch as he casts a spell, and there's this like molten piece of this mountain that he like let fall into the magma beneath, and you watch as this molten rock just begins to like tremor and like it lifts up above you, and it's just now like 100 feet away, but at your level.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Disintegration on that bad boy. Let's do it.
Okay, give me a spellcasting ability check.
That is a 19.
Okay. What are you trying to do with this disintegration?
Be as destructive as possible.
Okay, are you putting any kind of mustard on this, i.e. sorcery points?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's put, heightened?
I think you can heighten this,
Twinned? A twinned and a heightened.
yeah. It is
Ooh,
up to you.
little beams that go like this.
Oh, because you can do that now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. So a twinned heightened disintegration. And you're just gonna like... Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll again with advantage.
Plus 5, 23.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, what you're gonna be able to do whatever you want to this, like, I mean, this is like a chunk of a mountain that you would not be able to lift with a telekinesis. This is like hundreds of tons of stone here. So what are you doing with this?
Ideally, it breaks apart in a lot of little pieces.
Yeah. So you watch, there's clearly like some kind of energy that's holding this together, and you look, and it looks like Solinor is concentrating on some spell to like hold this up for you. And you watch as you disintegrate it, you can tell he's like very quickly losing control of it, because you are like taking away, you are destroying matter right now. Like matter is being destroyed at a rate that he's having a hard time, despite him being such a masterful sorcerer, correcting for the like sudden changes in maths that he's trying to control. And you watch that just between a combination of him trying to hold this thing together, actually like accelerates its collapse, and you watch as it just like implodes for a second and then just explodes, and you watch as a quickened spell comes up, and you just watch as these like pieces of molten rock and magma just pelt this wall of force in front of you, and just themselves like just completely break apart, as against the shield. With that, you hear this loud metallic like clunking and this whirring, and once again there's that warm radiation. Your sorcery and your spell slots are again restored.
This is awesome. I don't know what, but something's getting hit with chain lightning next.
Okay. Yeah, you basically can spend as long as you like just completely like flying around this chasm and just completely letting loose. I'm talking like infinite spell slots, infinite sorcery points. You can fly wherever you want and just like complete destruction. There's nothing around here, like no neighbors, no noise complaints, no one's getting hurt. It's just like complete destruction and carnage of like a perpetually elemental like chaos right now. So whatever calm you may have had before, it's like probably, I imagine, might turn into like a little bit of catharsis, as you are just like able to completely let loose. And Solinor is just himself going to like somewhat like follow you around, and every once in a while cast like a protection spell here or there for just like loose, like if you get a little crazy, like loose like shrapnel from the wake of your ruin is just being scattered across this chasm, and um, like you watch as he himself at one point is going to just drop a casual meteor storm, and you just kind of watch as like these huge meteors are like just kind of going past you because you're just like threading the needle as you're just kind of a pretty small target that's in the air, and you just watch as there's just like rock against rock and explosions, and it's weirdly it gets to a point where like despite the just like violence of these spells, it's almost like just drowned out by the like rhythm of the magma in the area, and it's like weirdly peaceful. um, so you can do that for as long as you want.
I'm definitely staying there until the morning.
Okay. So you can basically just like exhaust yourself. I mean, not even really. Just doing that for as long as you want. And as Sandara spends the night just going pure mega sorcerer mode, that's where we will end our session and pick up next time.
God, you got pissed off and destroyed a mountain. That's really crazy.
Pretty cool.
Try not to use the big spells unless you have to, but when you can, you gotta use them.
I'll say it. Bold move, James. Bold move.
Whoa.
I'm gonna lay into you the next day, dude. I'm excited.
Guys,
It makes
I'm
so much sense.
I'm RPing so hard right now.
Yeah.
We're all
I
about the RP, and I love
I
it.
wanna
I for one love it.
I wanna continue smashing forever. I love Varric.
You were literally like, "Hey, help me fix this problem that I caused, and then I'ma peace out. F all y'all."
Yeah.
Not what I said.
Not
but
the
okay.
gentlest way to break up with the
That's
group,
the
but
way I took.
Hey, listen, fast forward like 80 sessions from now, and we're like at the table playing out with everyone here except for James,
Whoa.
as you're all explaining to his daughter why Dad didn't come home.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, no,
adventurer.
yeah, I love that. That caught me off guard too. I didn't know that that was like a decision Varric had made, but
You know, I didn't know until this session that was gonna happen.
yep.
I feel like it's easier said than done, meaning that you're gonna have to just conveniently tie up all your loose ends and not pick up any cursed items between now and your eventual.
Well,
Which,
that's yeah,
let's be real. What's the likelihood of that?
Like
slim
2%.
to none.
It's like real quick. Let me just drop this off on the top of a mountain and go kill a witch and
That's all you can do.
go talk to the goddess of death. And I think that'll be everything.
I mean, to be fair, sounds like Dunsparrow might have an answer.
Yeah, I mean, she said there's some mystery, but I'm curious of how receptive Varric will be to it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's hard when you build a full backstory with like people you actually care about instead of just being like, I'm an orphan, I got no parents, I killed them. Like,
I didn't even know I had a
hard.
daughter
Yeah.
until like we fucking met my daughter. I didn't even know that was an existing character.
Yeah.